In a quiet rural village nestled near the edge of the bush in Sierra Leone, the air was thick with sorrow. The new year was fast approaching, but in Pamomo's compound there was no laughter, no drumming, no joy. The small bed where his 6-year-old son Abu used to sleep lay cold, empty, dry, and painfully still. The boy who once lit up the village with his bright smile was gone. Pamomo sat beside the bed, his eyes completely dry. No tears could come. His grief was too deep for crying. It burned inside him like a silent fire. The air itself felt heavy and suffocating, as if the entire village had been wrapped in a thick, invincible shroud. The usual sounds of children laughing, goats bleating, and women calling to one another had fallen silent. Everything stood still, weighed down by a sorrow too deep to name. At the center of the small sitting area lay the empty bed, the very same bed where little Abu used to sleep. The thin woven bed still carried the faint scent of his small body, slightly sunken in the middle, where he would usually curled up like a happy kitten. A few tiny footprints in the red dust beside it had not yet been swept away. His favorite piece of cloth, the bright blue one his late mother had tied around his waist every morning, lay folded neatly at the head of the bed, waiting for a boy who would never return. Pamomo knelt on beside the empty bed, completely motionless. His broad shoulders, once strong from years of famine, now looked weighed down as if they carried the entire world. His eyes, those same eyes that used to sparkle with pride whenever Abu ran to him, were completely dry. Not a single tear had fallen, not one. It was a grief too deep for tears, the kind that burns like dry season fire in the chest, scorching everything inside, but refusing to let any water out. His gaze was fixed upon the footprint left behind by his son, unblinking, as though staring hard enough might bring back his son. The villagers who came to console him stood at a respectful distance, whispering amongst themselves. Some women wiped their eyes with the edges of their lappers, but Pamomo just sat there, dry-eyed, silent and terrifying in his quiet pain. It was the kind of grief that scared people because they knew such a man had nothing left to lose. Only the harmattan wind moved, gently lifting the edge of Abu's little cloth on the empty bed, as if the spirit of the boy had come to lie down one last time. The villagers who came to sympathize whispered amongst themselves, "It is those witch people, those witch them, those 3 witches, Mami Fatu, Mami Ebu, Ama Binti. Every new year they feast on the spirit of one child. Their hearts are darker than charcoal. Everyone knew of the three women. They were respected in public but feared in secret. Every dry season, a child would mysteriously die, and the villagers knew the truth. The witches had eaten the child's spirit for their New Year feast. Now it was Abu. The boy had been so beautiful, too full of life. Pamomo stood up slowly, his hands trembling. He said nothing to anyone, but deep in his chest, a cold resolve was forming. This would not be the end. It was only the beginning of justice. The kind the living would not give. He would find the truth tonight. What happens when one man dares to challenge witches even the strongest herbalist fear? Stay with me. The story is just beginning.